So for the mid-semester video project, I decided to talk about the push-up. The push-up is considered to be achieved in the sagittal plane, even though the joint action at the shoulder is a horizontal adduction, indicating a transverse plane movement. The muscles and their function involved in the concentric phases are the anterior deltoid and pectoralis major, are the main agonists involved in the push-up. The biceps brachii is involved in the flexion of the forearm or the elbow. The brachialis and brachioradialis are also involved with flexion of the elbow. When doing a push-up, the forearm is in pronate state. The pronator teres assist in elbow flexion as well as pronation of the forearm. Another pronator of the forearm is the pronator quadratus. The triceps brachii are the antagonist of the push-up, functioning as extensors of the elbow along with the anconeus. The push-up is easier achieved when the fingers are abducted and the thumb is extended. The wrist extensors are involved with the forearm pronated. The muscles are extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor carpi radialis longus, and extensor carpi ulnaris. The push-up is an isotonic exercise carrying out against a constant load. Isotonic exercise is used to increase dynamic strength, muscle endurance, and power. Isotonic can positively be used for multiple points, contraction against maximal loads, but only can use the weakest point can lift. Also considered an isometric exercise when holding the exercise against resistance. In the isometric phase, you have your arms in extension as well as your shoulders in flexion. Isometric can positively be used in initial rehabilitation, but it's not strength full range of motion. Lastly, it's also kinetic in the sense that the movement can be done in the same speed. The joints that are involved include the elbow joints, and the push-ups are the humeral ulnar, that's a hinge joint, the humeral radial, a gliding joint, and the proximal radial ulnar, the pivot joint. The hands were in the pronation state. Also, the radiocarpal joint, a condyle joint. The metacarpal phalangeal joints of the thumb for stability, and the glenohumeral, a ball and socket joint. The exercise can be applied against strength in the upper torso, and it can help flexibility in the pectoral region as well as arms. The amount of repetitions and sets are solely based on the individual needs. If the individual is trying to achieve muscular definition, then the amount of repetitions should be high, and the load should consist of 40 to 60% of one maximum repetition. On contrary, if the individual is trying to achieve hypertrophy, the load should be at about 80% of one maximum repetition and a small amount of repetitions.